A federal judge recently stopped the Trump administration from canceling $1 billion in education funding for several states. Ours is on the list, Nevada. But the funding isn't safe because Nevada could see that funding terminated once again. Rachel O'Brien from OpenTheBooks.com joins us live to hash it out. I've been watching a lot of coverage on this, not just specifically with our state of Nevada, but other school districts and other states relying on this money. Rachel, what have you found in your research as far as what this could mean for education specifically here in Nevada?
Yeah, we keep seeing the Trump administration make big cuts, and of course they're always challenged in the courts, right? So states received a letter on March 28th from the Education Secretary essentially saying that the administration had moved up its due date for spending pandemic funds. So 16 states sued, including Nevada, saying you can't just rescind the money that Congress allocated. So a federal judge ruled this month and agreed and said the states were correct. The Education Department essentially didn't give enough notice before canceling the funds. But here's the catch. The Education Department could again terminate the funding after they do give states proper notice. So this money is not safe.
And we're talking $29 million for the state of Nevada. Here in southern Nevada, we're home to the 5th largest school district in the nation, Rachel, which I know that you are well aware of. What is it going to mean for our local students?
Yeah, so this is the $29 million is what has remained in unspent COVID funds for schools. They got a lot more that they spent. So, Nevada is one of the states that got an extension actually in February. They were allowed to use the funds through March of next year. But this letter from the Education Department Secretary essentially rescinded that extension and moved the deadline up sort of, with no notice. Really, it was the same day. And so she argued in that letter that schools had plenty of time to spend the COVID funds that they were initially given back in 2021. Of course, we were in the middle of a pandemic, and school districts said, some projects got a late start. They had procurement and hiring delays, especially at the height of the pandemic, so they weren't able to spend those funds. It's the exact opposite of what the Education Department is saying. They didn't have enough time to spend those funds. $29 million they may have to give back.
Well, and also, this is fascinating. You do such a good job, Rachel, with your research and sharing with us the information so I know what questions to ask you. This got my attention. Almost $300 million has been given to UNLV and the College of Southern Nevada within the past 5 years. That is a significant amount of money. So it's not just, K through 12 we're worried about, but our universities as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So, we know for things like any spending that's related to diversity, equity, and inclusion, the Trump administration has said they're going to cut. So if colleges have any DEI connection to that, they could lose that money. Clark County School District got almost $3 billion from the federal government. That's B billion in the last 5 years for things like low-income students, early childhood spending, special education grants, the school lunch program, refugee school impact grants, funding English language learners, tons there. And so all of this could be impacted. We talked about previously, even if Trump does not eliminate the Department of Education, it looks like he cannot, he can still make these big cuts, and they're always going to be challenged in court, but they could eventually get cut. We've seen some of it already get cut and can have a huge impact on what districts and universities actually end up getting, because it's a lot of money at stake.
Well, Rachel, thank you for bringing the issue to us and also for highlighting exactly what it could mean for local students. Appreciate it. Have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful holiday weekend.
You too. Happy Memorial Day.
Thank you, Rachel.